I had a normal pregnancy. I was 37 weeks, and I was in my office. Actually, I was on one of my sales calls, and my water broke.
My wife and I almost arrived at the hospital simultaneously. She drove herself from work after her water broke. They rushed her immediately to the emergency C-section. Ralphie was born. You could tell when he was born that he was a little red. You can almost tell he was having a little trouble breathing.
They took me in to see the baby. He wasn't breathing well. He was intubated. He was on a respirator. Then they put him on a ventilator. And the next thing I remember is actually life flight, wheeling him into the corridor and taking him to Miami Children's.
Ralphie came to us in critical condition from the hospital that he was born in. When he first arrived, we tried every conventional therapy available at our resources to try to get this persistent pulmonary hypertension to relax and for his lungs to regain some of its circulation and some of its oxygen. In the end, none of them worked, and we were sort of forced at that point to consider putting him on a heart and lung machine, which is what we call ECMO.
I had to follow the life flight team over here to Miami Children's Hospital. They rushed him right away into the NICU, where they actually had to perform a surgery to open here a slit and put like a tube into the jugular vein and one into the aorta, and then plugged into this big machine that was like 10 times his size.
I saw my son. He was elevated on an incubator, but he was elevated, and it was like if I was looking up at him, like if he was like, in an altar. I had the doctors, the nurses, a social worker, the head of the pediatric intensive care, the head of the nursing unit, and all I wanted to do was see my son. I wanted to carry him, and I couldn't.
What ECMO does essentially is the machine takes out the deoxygenated blood from the baby's venous system. It goes through the machine. The machine oxygenates it, and as the blood is returned back to Ralphie or any baby, the baby then receives the oxygen that way.
He was on the machine for 60 hours, and as his heart and his lungs started getting strong, that they would wean down the machine.
Fortunately, after 3 days, they were able to remove him from this ECMO machine. He was able to start what a normal baby would start right away after birth.
We stayed another 11 days here in the hospital in a suite at 2 North, which was amazing. To have this hospital have a suite for the parents to stay with him in a still intensive care with a nurse with you 24 hours a day, it actually allowed us to be able to be with him. So we took him home.
We have a history of innovation here at Miami Children's Hospital, and the ECMO program is a clear example of that. Since 1987, we were the first pediatric ECMO program in the state of Florida. We're the most experienced program in the state when it comes to putting children on life support.
If the machine wouldn't have been available, my son would have died. And to me, it was incredible to know that I could wheel him out of the hospital in his stroller, which I never, got to do. So it was amazing.
He just turned 5 May 18. Actually, I think probably it was a day like today that we left the hospital 5 years ago. He does great in school. He loves to do his extracurricular activity. He loves to play the Nintendo Wii. He likes to play soccer. He likes to play baseball. He's a normal 5-year-old. We're very grateful to Miami Children's Hospital for the experience. The treatment that we got as parents here, I have no complaints. I couldn't have asked for more. I couldn't have asked for more.